Hello, 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 Graham. Hello, good evening. How are
Good
you today?
good evening, Renata. I'm feeling really good today, thanks. I always love it on a Tuesday evening when we jump on and start doing these conversations. Always makes an otherwise boring day a bit more interesting.
Oh, come on. Well, it's our Healthy Tuesdays evening talks today. And we have the question come up here, but before we go to the question, I want to remind each and everyone, remember to like, comment, share our live stream, because here we're trying to help you to get healthier. We are here to give you suggestions where you can start your health journey. And today, our amazing professional in health, Graham, will be sharing his expertise. And first and most important, I want you to go back 5 years ago
hmm
in your mind. And if then your body could speak, what do you think your body would ask you to change it?
Oh, wow. Well, I've just had a little memory that's come back up for me of around about 5 years' time. I remember lying in bed, settling down and going to sleep. With lots of thoughts in my head, lots of worries. And I remember feeling just a little heart go, like flutter. Like I didn't really know what it was at the time. But I remember just my heartbeat just kind of went boom, 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 and then kind of went back into, and I was like, oh, that was unusual. I've not felt that before. And looking back, I really think that that was my body trying to say to me, you can't carry on doing what you're doing. Something has to change. My body was fighting really hard, and I've got an amazing body. It's like the amount of things I've put it through, and it's still strong. So I think, my body was saying that to me. It was saying, look, you can't carry on the way you are.
So, basically, you understood back then that you need to stop. But how
Mm.
did you find the information what you actually need to change it?
Well, that wasn't until much later. I mean, I've tried so many different things, and I think initially there were some real simple steps which I took, which started making a big difference in terms of drinking more water, like avoiding unhealthy foods, cutting out the alcohol, moving my body more. These were all really important things, but I hadn't realized until 6 months ago just how important the microbiome is in this whole picture because I just had no idea. I didn't know what it was like to experience a really healthy gut. I'd always relied on convenience foods and I'd been drinking alcohol for such a long time and it just yeah, it was only at that point when the lights went on and I was like, "Oh wow. This is what it feels like to have good clean energy." So yeah, that was a mind-blowing, mind-opening moment when I was able to shake off some sugar cravings, um, really learn what it's like to feel my body, and I felt more as well. So something as simple as enjoying a meal, I could I could feel that meal through my whole body. If that, I don't know if that even makes sense to some people listening here, but I could actually experience that how that food feels rather than just how it tastes.
Absolutely amazing. I love it. Uh, I have so many the questions before, and so many people just may be afraid of some changes.
Hmm
And I think it's the reason behind it because we don't know what we don't know.
hmm
Same with me when I start taking ProRG9. I was thinking I'm feeling okay. You remember we was talking. I think I feel good. I have no
hmm
major issues or problems health-wise, but you just realizing that with the age you cannot do exactly the same things when you 10 or 20 years younger. So the day, I think day 5, I was realizing that I'm actually not just can walk with the dog, I can run with the dog as well. This kind of little things maybe not means a lot,
Hmm.
but reality is massive. We have amazing testimonials from people. Can you mention some of them? What experience other people actually share, not just about clarity, not about just no having brain fog, what other people actually are saying, and we may
Hmm.
be able to put those the feedbacks a little bit later on in our comments. Can you please share it? And in the meantime, as you're watching this live stream, can you just comment, ask any questions? Can you just because we dedicated for your health here, talking to help you to take next step to your healthier tomorrow. So Graham.
Yep. Yeah, there's so many people who have benefited from doing the purify process, of which ProRG is a real key part of that purify process. And I'm just going to think of a few examples off the top of my head. So recently there's an amazing lady called Lydia, who's really dedicated to supporting children with learning and stuff like this. That's her passion. Um, and she decided to do the 21-day reset. Now, for her, it didn't go very smoothly. She had lots of interruptions, and it actually took her another couple of weeks to complete the program. And initially, she thought, "Oh no, I've messed it all up." But when we sat down and we kind of ran over um, where she was to where she is, and she was able to reflect on what happened over the last few weeks, she had all of these realizations, and probably the biggest thing for her was leg cramps. Before she did the Purify program, she used to suffer these dreadful leg cramps. She said it would start in one leg and then it would kind of come to the other, and then both legs would be cramping, and she'd have to like pace around the room to kind of like ease off the cramps. Um, and um, and after she finished doing the Purify, she realized they were gone. She hadn't had one for weeks. She hadn't had any of these cramps, and they haven't come back either. So that was her experience. She had a lot more as well. She quite common. A lot of people tend to lose a bit of weight. I mean, me personally, when I did it, it's not a weight loss program, but when we balance our bodies and we get our microbiomes healthy and kickstart all of our gut health, it's quite common that a lot of people have a bit of excess weight and they lose some. So I lost a stone over the 3 weeks. Um, there is an amazing lady called Marie who did the 21 days with us as well. She had a fantastic experience. She was struggling with her energy levels and her hormones. And through the 21 days, she ended up feeling super energized by the end of it. She was waking out of bed, sleeping well, ready to face the day, rather than before that, she was really kind of struggling in the mornings. Um, and also hormonal balance. She was a bit up and down emotionally, and she was finding herself a lot more regulated. Things that would have upset her before, she was really taking in her stride. I'd love to talk about Ned. Ned is an amazing guy who, he'd been struggling for years with IBS. There's a drug called omeprazole, which is only ever intended to be used over a short term to control digestive upset and acid reflux. And he really struggled with acid reflux, IBS. He was taking omeprazole every single day for years. He like Rennies and antacids, they weren't even touching the discomfort that he had. And within 3 weeks, he was able to come off the omeprazole. He was able to manage his condition with the occasional antacid tablet. And again, he had all of these other amazing side effects as well. So Ned lost 2 stone in weight over 3 weeks. And he's continued to drop weight and continued to, he said, oh, there's no way I'm going back to how I was. He's changed his whole life. And everyone who he speaks to, he tells them about what the experiences that he's had. And then there's a guy called Aaron. Aaron really struggled with psoriasis. So he had this flaky, itchy skin. It was all over his hands, all over his feet, various different parts of his body. Medically, the doctors didn't really know what else to do for him. He'd been putting lots of different creams on, steroid creams. They weren't managing the psoriasis for him. And the doctors didn't really know what else to suggest. The next thing they were about to do was go down the route of giving him some cancer drugs, which were going to suppress his immune system. So before he did this, he said, "Do you know what? I've heard about the Purify 21-day system. I want to give it a go." Within 3 weeks, his psoriasis had cleared up. I mean, you could still see some shading on his hands of where it was, but the dry, flaky skin had gone. He was absolutely shocked. Like all of the different things he tried for years, and something as simple as following the Purify system with the amazing supplements, with the support and guidance of somebody who knows what they're talking about with it, his psoriasis has become completely manageable. Before he did Purify, he struggled to turn pages in a book with the skin flaking off. He struggled to walk down the street because the skin would like in his socks would start kind of pulling the scabs off. So, so these are just a few ones that just jump to mind. At the end of everybody's Purify, I always ask one question. I mean, there are a few questions, but there's one question in particular which I think is relevant right now. I always ask, "Are you glad you did it?" And universally, 100% of the people who've stepped in and done it have said, "Yeah, I'm so glad I've done it."
Sometimes I have the question in my mind, why this cannot be prescribed by doctors to
Mm.
people? Why to go to like drugs prescription and all this like uh, heavy medicines that this can hurt you more? Why? You
Well,
know?
exactly. I mean, what we've got here is like all natural, all organic products. I mean, it's basically what we're selling people is food, really nutrient dense food. There's nothing pharmaceutical within these products. And yeah, you're quite right. The healthcare system as it is, um, I think it would benefit so much if people in hospitals, instead of getting fed, you know, cheese sandwiches and chicken nuggets and chips and things like that, if they were able to support them with really nutritious food and supplements which give the body exactly what it needs, people would be healing themselves up much faster because our bodies know how to heal. They just need the right ingredients.
Excellent. Thank you so much. It's really valuable information. Now, I'm gonna go quick to question. Are we managing our health proactively or only reacting when something goes wrong? We have question
Ooh.
from Olivia.
Mm. Well, there's an opportunity there, isn't there? And we get the full range of it here with the people that we work with. Some people who are curious and just want to see what the experience is like and start to realize that prevention is much better than the cure, that they can look after themselves with really simple steps. But quite often, people do tend to get to this point of desperation before they're willing to change. Obviously, everyone's different, everyone's on a different path, everyone's got a different story. But I think it's a really good question because sadly, most people seem to wait until they've got a crisis before they're actually willing to change their habits, try something different, and really, open their mind to alternative possibilities.
I love the answer. Thank you so much. Now, another quick reminder, people that watching this our live or later on replay, please comment, please ask the questions, and like and subscribe this channel where we committed for your healthier future. This is the motto inside because we all busy. All lives can be really drastically overwhelmed, but to find the right way and to help your own body is kind of can be very difficult because it's lots of companies saying they are the best, but no many companies actually can show it results in
Hmm.
day 1, 2, or 3. So that said, we're coming up for 15 minutes. I want to remind everyone, like, subscribe. I want to say massive thank you so much for Graham. And we will talk to more healthy questions, answers, and ideas sharing on next Tuesday. It's gonna be 6:30. We're looking forward for your questions, suggestions, ideas. Say we are wrong or say we are right. All welcome. Said that, thank you so much, Graham. Let me know if you have any ideas of what you like to talk for next week, Graham.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Yeah. I'll give it some thought and see what we can talk about next week. But I think, yeah, the microbiome is one of my favorite topics.
I love it. Thank you so much, and I see
Okay.
you later. Take
Thank
care.
you, everyone.
Yes, we done it.
That was a good one.